it's hard to hear your feedback. I'm playing like the Phantom of the Opera on a keypad. Hopping off the deep end happily, ain't no wisdom in my teeth left. Just cavities, I've been trying to keep my feet wet. Walking over water, about to run a little farther. Doing an Our Father, but you probably atheist. I'm still speeding like Dennis Hopper. There's a bomb up on this bus, so where the fuck's Keanu Reeves at? You best to relax, I'm staying on my grind. Feeling Amy off this wine like I ain't going back to rehab. Feeling like a bipolar reject. I'm even high when I'm sober, and my mind's a solar eclipse. A born-again feet-ass who should've been aborted. Hopped about my mommy's chest like, what's up, I'm important. That was morbid, dog, and kinda sorta wrong, but nothing's off limits. I've been ripping down walls like Gorbachev. I do it for my dogs and do it for the cause, yeah. You do it for the blogs and do it for applause, yeah. You do it for the wrong reason, so I have to judge. The beat up on your song is decent, but your rapping sucks. That's why I can't endorse it, but still you're in the stores and people flock with open wallets to cop your garbage recordings. But I keep my hands in my pocket, that's ironic, like Alanis Morissette. I hate this game, but I can't just forfeit. Don't want the fame, but I'll take the fortune. The moolah, they say what you give to it, you end up attracting to ya. That's why I put my 2 cents in and got some change back. Guess it all makes sense in my brain, man. My bedroom feels too small for me, but the outside world's like doomsday, honey. I'll go Usain once you say run it. Lot of fish in the say, but 2 ain't nothing. My bedroom feels too small for me, but the outside world's like doomsday, honey. I'll go Usain once you say run it. Lot of fish in the say, but 2 ain't nothing. There's a rip tide coming, hold on. I think the sky's falling on us. There's a rip tide coming, hold on. I think the sky's falling on us, yeah. Falling on us, yeah. Falling, yeah. There's a rip tide coming, hold on. I think the sky's falling on us, yeah. Cloud 9 never seemed so far away. This is only so much bullshit I can tolerate. Treat the booth like my pool pit, I'm trying to congregate. But my pursuit of artistry has led my heart astray. I try to stay up on a straight and narrow path, but every time I look, it's like sand from this hourglass is pouring outward. But I'm all about my paper like I'm Jim Halpert. The top is just a shot away, so baby, give me shelter. Yeah, I'm South Philly's own Lil Helper, the Wolf of Broad Street. They call me the young Jordan Belfort. My story developing Corey Feldman the way they can't stand by me, like I just brought him here to see a dead body. Yeah, and that body's mine, so I'm the one you hide behind, trying to find peace in the deep end of this violent mind. Praying for Vegas, bowling for Columbine. Download it for free and sold up on Spotify. Like here, yo, sell your soul up on the dotted line, or stay independent and sell not a dime. Just try to grind. Yeah, cause what a time to be alive, ain't it? God would've got more followers if she was Vine famous. But me, I just live free to die painless. I'll be rolling up the heaven's gates late like, hi haters. God is major and I'm grateful for the pain you caused. If I wasn't, I wouldn't have sang you these songs. Like, my bedroom feels too small for me, but the outside world's like doomsday, honey. I'll go Usain once you say run it. Lot of fish in the say, but 2 ain't nothing. My bedroom feels too small for me, but the outside world's like doomsday, honey. I'll go Usain once you say run it. Lot of fish in the say, but 2 ain't nothing. There's a rip tide coming, hold on. I think the sky's falling. Yeah. Oh, they don't even hear a word I say when I rap. I'll burn a flag, rubbing to make America great again. It's that David and Goliath, I'ma slay my own dragons. Dragging out my words like drag racing a jag. Put the free and Freemason, I'm relaying the facts. 808s add to a 4-4 clap, that's basic math. My past a winding road, but I can find my home. Like Dorothy in some slippers standing on a tippy toes. You pushing yellow bricks, we in a fellowship of souls, where anyone could die like a Game of Thrones episode. Yo, you never know it till it's too late. Me, I flip a coin with heads on either side of it like I'm Two-Faced. Living up out of a suitcase, my closet seems scarier now. Too many skeletons in it, it's like a burial ground. Y'all need a Ouija board whenever we record. Y'all get the heebie-jeebies, say that boy's a heathen and he needs the Lord. But I know God up on a first name basis. Still don't got no entourage to show me Vinny Chase love. It's still me, major, connected to the universe. For the afterlife, I'm only here collecting souvenirs. So who's the weirdest boy you see? Me, you probably right. Pretentious, what I say, yo, mama not gon' like. Namaste, wearing moccasins. Assalamu alaikum, reading Alan Watts, singing like Shaka Khan with my chakra bright. A starving artist giving food for thought to feed your appetite. It's yin and yang, so what I'm saying is only half is right. Like, I've been told a lot of things before. I'm not sure if I can make my mind up. I've been beaten, bruised and sore. I'm still trying to hold my light up. Hold my light, hold my light up. Hold my light, hold my light up.
What's going on, chat? Welcome back to another live stream. I don't even have my disclaimer up. Welcome back to another live stream. We're running the second one of the day. We got a power hour stream running, and I'm hella early. It's like 2:27 p.m. Eastern, but I'm going to get it in early with you guys. Before we hop onto the charts, take a look at what the heck the market did today and see if we can't scalp our way into some profit. Read what's on the screen. Trading's risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. I'm just an idiot here yapping on YouTube for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Nothing I say or do here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. What is going on? What's going on, chat? Let's hop back over to this screen. Let's see what you guys got going on. What's happening? Markets are spicy today. What's up? What's up, guys? Wolf is one and only right now in YouTube chat. What's going on, Wolf? Appreciate you hopping back on, man. You're the OG. You are the OG. I really appreciate you, man. I am. Let's see. Yeah, we got a bunch of people hopping on. We got like 20 on the tube. We got a handful on Kick. Kick, I need to like refresh 1,000 times. Nah, 8 people. I'll give you guys a little bit of time. Again, I'm way early for the time that I'm usually streaming, so that's expected. I'm here with you, Wolf. Rob's here. What's up, guys? What's going on? But fun morning session. We had Isaac Rivera on the morning session. If you guys missed it, I highly recommend going back to check that one out. Really a lot of insights, a lot of sauce dropped. I mean, this man broke down pretty much everything that goes into his trading in a lot of detail. Not everything, but quite a bit. If you guys want to check that one out, I'll drop a link in here a little bit later to check out his community. But he's got a free community. He's got a paid community. He does stream live. But that was fun. That was fun. Today, afternoon, we checking out NQ. We'll run some duck races a little bit later. We were hanging out until way after the close yesterday, running duck races, which was fun. But maybe we'll get those in a little bit earlier today. What's going on? What's up? P Momentum, what's happening? What's happening, guys? So, markets. Kind of been chopping, huh? Kind of been chopping. So if I look at this, let's go out to ES, because that's what we've been really focusing on this morning. I'll start on ES and I'll drop back over to NQ. So morning session, this was a really nice long play. Honestly, I get a little bit distracted when I have guests on, right? I've got to manage a whole lot more than I manage now, which is streaming to multiple sites, handling chat, all that fun stuff. When I have to ask and answer questions, make sure their screens are, caught up. Sometimes it can be a little tough to snag a trade, but this did look nice for a long. Isaac caught a long, a nice W across multiple accounts. Sold off on news, right? If we look at the overnight session, somewhat choppy overnight session, right? Sold off pretty aggressively on news. Found some buyers down here into the open, and we really had another one of these classic, opening drives that just continued. This gave a really nice opportunity for some buying to continue to the upside here. Not bad structure that I would say. The only thing I will note is, we were talking a lot about initial balance high and low. The first 1 hour of the trading day being a very key level to watch, or set of levels, right? Because you get the high and the low. We broke above that, and we did extend it, right? We did come to the upside by 9.25 points, something around that. But we came back in. Now we've kind of just chopped around. Not a whole lot out of the afternoon. This was definitely decent if you are a trend trader, right? To trade to the upside. Not bad at all. A little bit choppy back and forth. I think you could have found some trades off of this, but when we pull moves like this right here, I think this can be a little bit difficult, right? We're starting to get a reversal, but it's not like what we saw yesterday where we came, all the way back in and we really have some movement to the downside, although this is pretty damn choppy here. It's actually not that far off of yesterday's price action. We don't really get too much follow through. We come back up, look like maybe we're going to find buyers down here again and then continue a drive higher. We come down around the low, break this low here, not quite lows of the session, back up again through initial balance, not really getting follow through, coming back down in. So I think if you were trading this into the afternoon, this could definitely be a little bit tough. So I'd note that. NQ, which is what I'm going to be trading here into the afternoon. Just so you guys know, you see me do this all the time, like zoom all the way out. It's for the VWAP. The VWAP, for some reason, always ends up in the wrong spot, which I really don't enjoy. But NQ, really similar structure, right? Sold off at the open. Found buyers, sold off on 8:30 a.m. news. Found buyers at the open, popped at the open, held above VWAP, got close, right? Some buying opportunity maybe down here for a break above this IB high, which set right here, 10:30. Break above overnight high, but really just a sweep, right? Really just a sweep above overnight high, and then, a break back in and a 100-point move to the downside, right? After that, really choppy, right? Really choppy, kind of drifty price action back and forth. For me on ES, this isn't bad. One thing I'm looking to challenge myself to do is get a little bit better at some continuation trading on ES, meaning waiting for price action market structure to start to form a trend, a direction after hitting one of my levels and then taking a continuation with that. But after that, this in here, not too great and really not great conditions for what I do here on NQ. I'm going to do best with this NQ scalping. It's really range trading, right? It's consolidating range type trading, small scalpy trades back and forth. If we do this and just drift back and forth in these, very like trendy movements on the 1 minute, right? From, 130 to 230, it's a nice trend to the downside. It doesn't play as nice because we're just really consolidating on a higher time frame, right? We have this back and forth movement on a higher time frame. So, it's worth noting that if I get zoomed in enough, maybe we can start to make some stuff work. But I've got a 50K instant funded account from Top One Futures loaded up here on Project X. I've really dedicated 2 different groups of accounts, a 3-pack of these 50K instant fundeds to trade individually on NQ. And the way that I'm trading these is my what I call like the 5 a.m. NQ swing trade. 5 a.m. swing trade, essentially a sweep of overnight high or low, prior day high or low, looking for a move way back down into VWAP, into an area of high volume, and this really aggressive zoomed in scalping. I've stuck on ES with my traditional main approach for NYSE Open in the straight to sim funded pro accounts. I like to kind of keep them separate, segregate them, so I can review the data, right? If I'm going to be kind of trading 2 different instruments in slightly different ways, maybe just by way of zooming in, I think it can be helpful to kind of keep those things separate, and then you collect a lot of data doing it, right? So that's kind of where I'm at here. So long story short, I don't mind to continue to take trades. If I take wins, I take losses. It is what it is. This to me on NQ, a lot of data collection. That's really what I like here on NQ. But let's see what's going on. What's up, guys? What's up? Kick, what's going on? Good luck all. Yes, good luck. Good luck is right. Also, maybe not luck. Just execute your system, and if the market agrees with you, it agrees with you. If it doesn't agree with you, it doesn't agree with you. That's pretty much all we can do. Run our system and let the odds play out in our favor over time. That's really it. Sorry, I'm just checking stream on a second screen here. Yeah, weird, man. I don't know. I can never tell how many people are on any of these unless I refresh everything. It's always all over the place. For you guys on X, I see now we got like 8 or so people, 10 people on X. Yeah, there we go. Feel free to hop over to Kick, to YouTube. Lower latency. X has hella lag. And if you want to be part of some giveaways coming up, maybe like an hour, you can grab it over on Kick or on X. Link is in my bio. Links all over the place. You can look at any of the last ones. I'll throw it in there soon. But while I'm watching this market down here, starting to consolidate a little bit, I got some liquidity back up here around VWAP. Interested to see if we go trade back towards that on Bookmap, but I'm just waiting for us to start like chopping a little bit, consolidating. Maybe we find buyers down here, come all the way back up. But I'm gonna give this a little bit of time. What's up, guys? What do you mean by data collection in NQ? Bonafide masters. I mean taking a lot of trades and reviewing the data, right? So I really haven't traded power hour. If you go back through my streams, I live trade a ton. You could scroll through and 95% of my trading is going to be at the open, right? So I don't have a ton of data results, right? Trading NQ for power hour. I used to trade it a little bit more on Top Step TV when I was on Top Step TV. That was kind of my designated time. I traded a lot of power hour with them. Traded on all the other fast markets and power players and Back to the Futures. Traded on all of them actually, but I did a lot for power hour. But as of recent, right? Let's say like 3 to 4 months, I haven't done a lot of power hour trading. So you can't just jump on and trade for 3 days in power hour and go, oh, I got it all figured out. Like it's all great. You know what I'm saying? I recall those times. Yeah. So, you don't know. Here's how I think of things, guys. Because here's how I've come to think of things. You don't know if something's working or not working until you've collected quite a few individual trades, days, weeks, and months, really, right? Anyone could hop on at any time, smash the buy or sell button. I could have my dog walk over and walk on my keypad, right? And he could take a banger. And he could do that 5 days in a row, right? So what I mean by data collection here is that collecting a lot of data to start to review and then be able to make improvements, right? So that's kind of the thought process. What's up, JNRV? What's happening? Relaxing Zen. Mildock Rock. I can't pronounce any of your guys' names. It's okay. I had a rough day. Battled back to negative 100. Not even going to try anymore. Done for the day. Michael S. What's up? Yeah, I feel you, dude. Lock it out, right? There's no reason to just keep beating yourself over the head. I've been thinking a lot more about this. Well, I know we're yapping here, but I'm waiting to see if we start to get something. Maybe we come back down around these lows, trade the 90s. I could see a move. If not, I think we go and tap those 920s, and I might like to fade it. But I don't know that I want to start scalping right in between this. Chat with you guys for a little bit where I watch this start to set up. Same screen time helping you improve pattern recognition. Yeah. Nothing better than just being on the screens for pattern recognition for sure. But yeah, I was going to say is I've been thinking a lot more about mental capital, right? And physical capital is obviously the most important, so you can actually put risk on in the market. But we have a finite amount of mental capital. And if you have really damaging, days, really tough trading days, you're draining your mental capital. And to think that, you're going to be able to continue to trade well, to have this really clear ability to self-regulate, to manage emotions, it's kind of a silly thing to do. And I definitely caught myself trading with drained mental capital on, was it Tuesday? On Tuesday, we're at a super tough day. So, Dr. Rock, there we go. Thank you. So, if you find yourself in one of those positions, there's nothing wrong with just slamming the screen, slamming the laptop, and just saying, I'm done for the day. I'm going to come back. Good, bad, red, green, whatever it is, I'm toast. And I'm not going to execute as well as if I was fresh, right? Coming from a nice cup of coffee in the morning after a good sleep. So definitely think about that. Think about that a little bit. I'm flat for power hour. Yeah, Wolf, I'm laughing at you winning the account. What's up, guys? Flat for power hour. I got my money earlier. Going to adopt the dump for the day and work my way to a payout. Yeah. So we had Isaac on earlier. We were talking about that. Had Isaac on for for pre-market. Excuse me, for the main open. And I said one thing I see a lot out of his communities is what Rob just said there, DFTD. And I was like, what the hell is DFTD? And it's done for the day. And it's this. If I take a win, right, and then the market just isn't really setting up for me, whether it's a big win, small win, whatever it is, in his case, it was $444 across 3 accounts. This is someone who's got quite a bit in profit in these accounts and can risk quite a bit more to say, I'm done for the day, right? I don't have to keep trading. I'm just going to, stack this win and move on, go do whatever I'm going to do. Like he was saying, go to the beach, whatever, go on the boat. I think that mindset can be really helpful, right? I hop on a lot of streams with you guys. I like to test. I'm doing different things here. But I do think, and he pulled up his, go back and watch it, man. It's gnarly. He pulled up his month, right? His month of trading. He's got 3 top 1 futures 150Ks that he's about to take his third payout from and get kicked live. All of them have like over 15K in profit in it that we're showing. But what stood out to me, when we pulled that up real quick, was he's got like 1 or 2 trades most days. I think the most was like 6 or something, or 4, and it was probably a scale in or scale out type of deal. But that can be a mindset in itself. I mean, it's very different for what I'm about to do right here, which is scalping and working on some different stuff. But I think I have that similar trading mentality in the morning off of the open, right? You typically see me take no trade, 1 trade, 2 trades at the high end, right? I take a W, I usually lock it up, right? I'm done for the day. You don't have to put more risk on to try to make more money. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you have that longer term mindset, right, which is what we need, it can help you, it can feed into that. We were talking today. I hardly ever hear anyone say, this is my game plan with these accounts for the next 16, 18, maybe 24 months or more. And that, that was the terms that he was talking in. 2 years, we're talking about working towards being, max funded with live accounts, and being able to scale up to trade the largest size live accounts, right? But if you have that mentality, you're able to take a $400 day and not go, well, everybody else on Twitter made $10,000 and I want to make it to a payout tomorrow and I just need to make a little bit more and I blow it, right? And then there's the DLL right there. You can just continue to stack these base hits, stack these smaller wins, and let that stuff compound and just add up and then scale. But it really starts with that longer term mindset, and that done for the day mindset. I think is awesome. I think is really awesome. So, again, I think Isaac is a badass trader. I think there's very few in the prop firm space that have been around as long as he has and has the track record that he has. Very few. I know people have, personality stuff. Is that the guy with the cigar on Top Step? Whatever, but talking crap. You make your own decisions, right? But I look at people's trading. I look at what they do, how they articulate what they do, and trading live and showing everything, executions. That's really what I look for. Pretty gnarly stuff out of him. So anyway, feel free to check that stuff out. But outside of that, just the mindset. I agree with a lot of the mindset piece, and it's some stuff that I had to reframe in my mind. Because I only knew what I knew coming in. I learned from the people that were around, and he has a very different mindset when it comes to trading prop firms and, this long-term longevity, focus on a live account, mindset, which you just don't find. You hardly find anybody ever talking about that. So, all right. Let's see. We were talking with Greasing. What's up, everybody? What's going on, Dwayne? Plus working all day. I get up at 3 a.m. Yeah, man. Catch trades throughout the day. Yeah. I'm from BTE community. Isaac is the discipline in person. One of the main reasons I'm in this community because he's focused on sustainability. Yeah. Yep. Exactly how I blew my account yesterday. I was $200 away from a payout. Blew it yesterday on NQ because I'm forcing things. Daniel. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So many people have been there. Right? But like what happened, is I think what's important. I'm watching this just trend back to VWAP. I'm gonna stop yapping after this, but I can't tell you the amount of times I've heard that happen, right? And I haven't done it with a payout, honestly. I've gotten pretty close. I buried a 50K this week. I talked about on Tuesday that wasn't close to a payout, but just had no reason to be buried. What's up, Christian? Decipher the algo in chat. What's going on? But yeah, bro, like what happens when you get close to that payout and all of a sudden everything goes out the window and you bury the account? You weren't taking a good setup. You weren't taking a good setup. You were just trying to pass. You were imposing this will of a P&L number on the market, right? And, that in itself is just inherently wrong. The market doesn't care about your P&L or mine or anybody else's. It doesn't care about your ought to pass an account or take a payout, right? You have to just wait for your setup and wait for that to come. And if you end short of that, you got to wait for the next one and put risk on, right? You can adjust that risk management a little bit, but just keep hitting the button, buy and sell, trying to get to like a certain amount. You're just gambling. You're just YOLOing, you know? Unbearable pain. Brother, I'm sorry. Daniel, I feel for you, dude. I really do. I will say I've done it with an eval back when I was trading Top Step quite a bit, and I did it with 150K eval. I went from like, I'm talking way close. I think it was probably under $100, and you do the classic thing that the just one more trade. The just one more trade. You know, okay, well, I just need to make a little bit more, and I'll pass it. And then you take a $100 loss, and now you're, $250 away, and you go, okay, all right, let me just get back to where I was, and then I'll just stop. And then you take a $500 L, and you're like, oh man. And then it's just the last. There you go. What's up? How we doing, gang? The last dollar is always the most expensive, dude. And then it's just the wheels fall off, and then the dust settles, and you go, oh my God, what I would do to just have stayed $100 away or $500 away after I took 2 L's, and instead I buried the account. You go into that sunk cost, thought process. It's just a nightmare situation. So this comes down to discipline, like someone said, talking about being in the BTE community, and discipline, staying disciplined, staying true to your plan, and trading the chart. Stop trading your P&L. The P&L doesn't matter. The market doesn't respond to your P&L. This stuff is easier said than done. And I'm talking about this from a place of having done it myself more times than I'd like to admit. I consider myself a pretty damn disciplined trader, but I still have lapses, right? Still have tough spots for sure. So I think that stuff can be really important to think about. Equal to, if not more important than the trading itself, right? But yeah, dude, thanks for sharing. I am sorry to hear it. The pain is unbearable, dude. It's incredibly frustrating when that type of stuff happens. So guys, we came up, traded out these 20s here. The 25s have quite a bit of liquidity right here above this high. I think we're either going to return all the way back up to these 45s or pull back down. I'm tempted on a short here. Tempted to start this day off with a short, continuing some of this chop. I'm waiting to see if we come into this liquidity right here to the upside, and I may look to trade this back down a little bit. Again, we could be finding buyers here after sweeping this low and be rocketing through to the upside. If we get a lot of momentum here, I'm going to be cautious. Yeah, I'm going to try this one. I think we're coming straight through to the upside here, guys. I'm going to try a short here. I think we're either going to come straight through to the upside or we're going to get a nice reversion back down into this area here. So $200 worth of risk. Going to get the day started. See if we can't catch a little bit. Ooh, we got 935s. Nope. Straight through to the upside. That's going to be the play. Yeah, I figured we were either going to come straight through to the upside, trade through this level, all the way up to this area of high volume, or get a really nice reversion, right? Very quick stop out on that one, starting the day off with 1L. Let's see if it's just a wick above, if we do come and hang out up here. But that was my expectation, either a really nice W, where it was going to be very quick reversion back down, take these like 910s out, or a quick pop up, maybe go trade towards the 45s. So trade 1, L. Very quick. Let's keep it moving, guys. Took out the 35s, man. Yeah. So here's also what I was looking at on Bookmap. To the upside, out of this area consolidation, if I zoom out a little bit, we started to have some orders build up here right at the 925s. This is where I got short. We did have another stack up here. No real reaction. Quite a bit of orders filled, obviously, right? Volume traded. Just hesitated there a little bit, but we got the blast right through to the 35s. Definitely a little bit of a reaction there, but this is showing some strength to the upside. So, again, I think we go and trade towards those 45s, 50s. Taking a look at this on Bookmap. Agree, Zach. Our mind is set on that payout or passing. We get tricked by the markets, and in hindsight, we realize, damn, I should have been more patient. My trade set up. Yeah. Yep. YH, man, we keep going up. My worst experience was with an XFA at Top Step. Had $2,300 and needed one more $200 day, but instead blew it all the moment I realized I threw the work and discipline of 2 weeks away in 10 minutes. Michael S. That's a tough one, dude. That's another tough one. Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel that. I can't tell you the amount of those stories that I've heard. And, it comes from those lapses in discipline, tilt, lack of trust in our system, our approach, lack of understanding of the markets. But even more so, just the trading our P&L, the trading what we want to happen and allowing that to influence our trading, right? That doesn't have anything to do with what we should be doing in the markets. You can size according to however you need to size. You could size down, you could size up. The market doesn't care whether you're, in profit in your sim account, not in profit in your account, any of these things. It really doesn't. So I'm watching this pop to the upside, guys. Again, I've had some banger sessions on here with you guys, and I had some ugly sessions on here for Power Hour. Again, like I talked about, data collection. Someone asked me what I meant by that. Collecting a lot of data. I mean it like literally. Trading almost every day for Power Hour on NQ, attempting to scalp the way that I am, using a system and approach, forward testing you could call it. But with open eyes to say I don't have an enormous amount of data collected on this, right? I'm gonna trade it confidently and consistently, put risk on the line in my 50K accounts, but have realistic expectations where I might have what I just have happened here, where we started to pop to the upside, figured we would run that back towards these 50s, 45s, 50s, where we had a little bit more volume up here, a little bit more of consolidation. Do we pull all the way back down on this, or do we actually run it? I really don't have a trade from this area, so I'm going to be waiting patient here. Took it on a sweep above this level, 925s. Dang, NQ. Going to tick me out and then come back down. Yep. Traded, a couple points past my stop. Randy, damn, Randy. Blew my accounts today, Z, 3 tilt days in a row. Damn, son. Yeah, Randy, dude, that's a tough one as well. Damn, you guys are coming with the hard stories today. Listen, this market's been tough. This market is effing challenging everyone, but it isn't an excuse. Unfortunately, we all are responsible. Randy, you are a badass trader, dude. You are a beast of a trader, and you got a gnarly case of tilt to correct and to manage, man. That's usually how it goes. I don't know why. Man. It's probably the ability to take on risk really well and think objectively. And that quickly shifts into just being like way too much risk on. Randy, dude, for those that don't know, Randy just took max payouts from all of the Top Step accounts that he was trading. He's made it to multiple payouts with Top One. He's been breaking through. Damn, dog. 3 tilt days in a row killed him. Yeah, man. I would go a little bit back to basics on the risk management side. I have hardly anything to tell you at all on the trading side, man. I think you got it, for that, you got that part locked down on the actual trading itself. But when it comes down to remaining disciplined and, and calling that tilt, it's a killer, man. It's a killer. Everyone's tilted now. August just awful. Yeah, dude, you trade CFD firms. Tilt market for real. Yeah, dude, like I said, this market's tough, man. Like the way that I trade ES, right, and just objectively looking at this is tough, dude. This is tough. I don't care who you are. Maybe you're just a range trader, or you're just tick scalping and it never matters what the conditions look like. To the upside today, nice. Like I would give credit where it's due. I think this was a nice movement, right? We've started to erase this news move, broke above VWAP, held, pushed to the upside. This provided some opportunities for longs, for sure, right? After that, this gets dicey, dude. Even worse on ES, almost even worse on ES. Like we sell off back through VWAP, pull back, sell off again. Like, that looks like a classic fake out move that everybody wants to get short on this breakout. And then what do? We come all the way back above this high, pull up here, don't follow through, don't catch it to the upside. We sell another more than 10 points off back around VWAP. This can get dicey. This can definitely get dicey. So, the markets aren't always going to be, and again, maybe that's perfect for you. Maybe that's exactly what you need. You love these markets. For every person who's doing well, somebody else is struggling. That's just how it goes, right? We all trade different approaches, different styles. But these markets, in my humble opinion, Trump markets have been tough. Trump markets have just been tough. But that said, it isn't an excuse for tilt, man. Unfortunately, Randy. Sorry, brother. Definitely not my favorite market. No, this has been tough, dude. It's been super tough. Me included. Have not made the progress at all, and I can notice it shift really into the beginning of this year, man. These markets have been tough. There's been a lot of adapting to do, a lot of revising of the way that you're reviewing the markets, things that you have to pay attention to. I would argue maybe a year ago there wasn't, like, if somebody said tariff, the market pumps or dumps more than a red folder news event. Maybe we don't have as many of these really big breakout off the open and just continue days, or these massive V-shaped reversals that we've had mixed in with just straight chop. So it's a little tough, but the market's always going to be doing something. It's always going to be changing, right? There was a quote that I talked about when Christian was on. The market's the same because the market's always been changing. It was changing 100 years ago. It's changing now. So we always do have to be adapting a little bit. But, the tilt thing, man, the emotional control, the keeping risk, managed well, super important. Super, super important. I encourage everybody to put parameters in place to try to limit yourself. And when you identify triggers, right, when you go back through, for the guys that are talking, like, how that happens, what does that day look like? Usually there's a lead in, right? For me, I had one of the worst trading days on Tuesday of this week. One of the ugliest trash trading days. You can go back and listen to the live session. And I was pretty solid even when I came back on for Power Hour, but I went 0 for 3 immediately. What happened that day specifically? It's not always as standout as this, but I had gone to my second funeral celebration of life of the week in like 2 days. I had to go to one on Sunday and then one on Tuesday, and it was heavy. It was heavy on Tuesday, and I thought I could jump, right back onto the charts. And I was obviously not focused at all, not ready to self-regulate at all, and that bled directly into just horrible trading, right, and completely unnecessary losses. It's not always as clearly defined as that. Maybe it's hey, you have an argument with a spouse, you're tired, you're hungover, you find that on Friday after a losing week, you tend to just destroy accounts. Maybe it's after a couple wins, you get reckless. Maybe it's after getting paid out, you get completely reckless and you find you blow up, traditionally the week after you take a payout. Like, there's all of these different things that can lead in, but go back, look at your data, be honest with yourself. What is the lead in for this? That's kind of your trigger. Those are your risk factors. And then, how are you going to manage that going forward? You'll have to deal with whatever that is again. How are you going to manage that stuff going forward? So, I think that can be super helpful. Super helpful. You trade for long enough, you start to get a really good understanding of the market. You put your hand on the stove so many times that you start to get, you know what that feels like. So, I find myself to be fairly disciplined with risk management. Again, I would definitely say an insanely tough day off the charts can always translate back onto the chart. So it's something I will definitely be even more cautious of in the future. But you don't have to just burn accounts for forever or burn profit for forever to learn. You can self-regulate a bit. You can build some discipline in other areas of your life and bring that to the charts. It also comes from confidence in your system and your approach, right? Thinking in large sample sizes, all of these things. All of these things tend to help. chopping around, breaking and retesting. Almost like this for a short again, guys. Well, we didn't come all the way up. We came back down to VWAP. I think we pull back down through this low one more time, but we are starting to form some uptrend structure, so I want to be cautious taking shorts on this, but I am tempted on another one. Talked yesterday about taking the sell button off my chart, man, but because the W's are coming from longs, but I don't know. Maybe it's just a short bias, a way that I'm viewing price action. The stairs up, escalator down. We were talking about that today. I can't put my finger on it, but just eyeballing a short here, guys. I don't really have a great way to structure risk on this, though. That's my only problem. Take a peek at the 15. Consolidating, man. Got a little Dorito going on here on the 15. Dang, NQ. That's a pretty gnarly Dorito list getting formed right here. For those of you that like Cool Ranch Doritos, that's what I'm looking at. I don't know that we get a whole bunch of volatility coming into the afternoon, but this could be interesting. Good conversations. I know you guys were chatting it up. I'm gonna be focused for a minute here because I'm looking for a trade here. I don't think we popped this upside. Oh man, 305. Damn it, there was my short. It's looking short on this again, but I really didn't have a good way to structure risk, right? You know, getting short up here with a 10-point stop, like, you know, even something in here, it just doesn't give me a good invalidation spot. You know, all we got to do is tick up a little bit, take me out, you know, and I'm out of this one. But that's what I was looking at right here. This just is the problem. You could drop to micros, right, and run something wide out here, but that would make for a different risk structure. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Hanging out at VWAP, chopping around VWAP. Now, if we, for example, wicked really aggressively lower and then start to pop right back up, getting some volatility here, man. We could start moving. If we do start to move, I'm going to look to try to trade in that direction. If we start to get some momentum like we started to get right here, we come back down through this low, I may look to take that. We start to blast through this high, I may look to take that. I'm not going to mind if some momentum comes into this market, try to flow with it. But we are into Power Hour, 3:06 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we were talking this year I've had more setbacks than any prior year. I feel you, dude. It's insanely strange, but that's just been my experience. I feel you, Christian, man. Yeah, this market's been a pain in the ass for sure. Statistically speaking, my trading has extreme boom and bust. Usually aligns with a collapse in overall volatility. Nice. Yeah, I feel you. What's up, Biblical? It's always painting a picture as a lure. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what we're talking about when you guys were commenting. Sorry. London High might be a good place to have sell stop. 942. A sell limit above price, or a buy stop to look for a trade through this. My biggest wins comes from chip breakouts. Started a new eval, waiting for a payout. Nice, nice, man. Yeah, you're waiting for a payout on top one. Beautiful, dude. Congrats. Hella congrats on that. Love to see that, guys. Kaz Trades, what's up? Carlos, what's up? The 23,000s and 24,000s algo levels were big reaction zones. Let's see. Yep. Big round psychological numbers, man. You know, like if you're gonna throw levels on your chart, what do we have? 20. What did you say? 20. Oh, you were looking at 23,000. Yep. Big round psychological levels, man. Big round numbers. Sorry, I meant 23.9. Yeah, I figured. I was like, he probably meant, you know, something like this, right? You know, this in here. Yeah, nice round psychological numbers, right? Even hundreds on here on NQ, even 50s on ES can be really interesting to watch. So we had some volatility quick to the downside. We're popping back up. Do I want to try to fade this again? I don't know, chat. I don't know. Not really. I don't have really good long plays on this. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm gonna look for some other trades, but this is not beautiful. This is really not beautiful. Let's see. Payout finally got approved. Took 4 days. There you go. You trade live account, just prop firms. I trade a live account as well. I trade multiple live accounts. I have a futures cash account. Been really cycling through different platforms this year. Broker's fine. Solid broker, but trying to figure out, tried to make Motive Wave work. Really didn't like that. Tried to make TradingView work. I don't like the TradingView actual trading experience. I love a TradingView chart, but it's just a lot of lag. And then, of course, I got the investment brokerages, right? The IRA accounts that I was contributing to, me and my wife. But, yeah, live accounts as well, for sure. Hasn't hit Rise account. My goal with trading props here, I've talked about it a couple times, talked about it more recently this year, is to get moved live. Similar goal to Isaac, to Tanner, some of the guys that you see in my circle. You know, they've achieved it pretty quickly. Badass traders, right? I would put some of those guys, you know, well ahead of me. I'd like to take multiple payouts on the way to getting considered for a live account, but focus much less on the payouts and much more on the move to live with a large balance, the largest balance that I'm allowed to take from any one account. And then have that really long-term longevity mindset, that focus, right? And then if I want to, I'm blessed to be in a spot where I could put a lot of risk on the line in live accounts. If I want to make or lose quite a bit of money, I can do that every day in my live account, right? But I want to try to show as well what's possible here, trading prop firms, right, with you guys. Yeah. I did take 1091 for me trades. They did take, yeah. Biblical. Got you, bro. I got you. Congrats, Chef. I got one more day until I'm request eligible. 3 instant funded 2 weeks ago. Won't cause any problems. My 3 instant funded resets 2 weeks ago. Probably not. Who's your broker? I'm sick of Tradeovate lack of risk settings. Yeah, I don't like Tradeovate as a platform myself. But in the interest of trying not to dox myself, Bill, and while I'm testing out some different stuff, I'm gonna not say. I'm gonna not say. Um, I'd like to find something that I'd be comfortable like talking to you guys in a lot of detail about, and I'm still kind of going through that. Still kind of going through that a little bit. I would say any of the larger U.S. regulated, they're all U.S. regulated, but any of the larger major brokers that allow you to trade on any platform, like you pretty much guess it, like 60 platforms you could choose from, with what you find as fair pricing, I think can be a good option for you. If you pick something like a broker platform, you're kind of limited. But there's at least a handful of good options out there. So, it comes down to commissions and fees, right? And margin requirements to take a look at. Maybe you look at like how you can get money in and out of the account, what their support looks like, these types of things. But it's pretty standard. But hopefully, maybe next year I'll be talking in more detail about that type of stuff. Me too, Zach. I want to see if my strategy is deployable in live markets. Yeah. No, it's awesome, guys. I think you should have that goal, right? So I started, if you guys don't know me, I started with live accounts. It was live stock accounts first, and then crypto for a very short stint, what I would consider a short stint, of losing money aggressively, but actually attempting to trade. And then Forex. And all of that was in cash accounts, right? Live accounts, not to be confused with a futures or Forex prop firm live account, right? Real live account where you put the money in and it's your money, and it you either make money or lose money. Trading way larger size than I had any business trading, losing way more money than I wanted to, right? Got on this prop firm journey at the tail end of my time with Forex, and I really kept that full throttle coming over here into the futures market. But this year, my focus is a whole lot, and I achieved a lot of what I wanted to achieve, right? First getting funded with my first, accounts with Top Step, all the way to working towards payouts before losing accounts, multiple payouts into this year with more consistent payouts. And now it's like, okay, well, what's the end goal? Do you want to stay in sim world? Do you want to try to start copy trading super aggressively? What does that opportunity look like now that firms are starting to tighten down and, really eliminate sim farming and make the move quicker and quicker to live? Probably live accounts, right? That's what you want to look at. And then, if you're comfortable and you have the capital to do so, work with your own live account, right? I think everybody should kind of have that long-term focus. The straight up sim game is, for more experienced traders that are making money, is going away. If you're a beginner, I think prop firms are an excellent spot to start as a whole, right? Limit your downside risk, trade one small account at a time, make your mistakes, learn, right? Yep, you're going to be losing money for a while trading. I don't know anybody that starts trading and makes money and never loses money. I don't know. Maybe you know that person. I don't. So if you do that with prop firms, with inexpensive, accounts, as long as you're respecting them, I think that can be helpful. But as a whole, you should be thinking about live accounts, whether that's live with and it should be, this starts to bleed into like overall money management, right? But your goal should always be to make your money work for you, right? So you're trading, maybe you're trading with prop firms, you're using some of that money to fund live cash accounts in the futures market. Maybe you're continuing to make profit, and then you have, safer, more conservative accounts where you're trading, long-term holds in the stock market, equities. You're looking at different plays like, T-bills and things like this to really continue to compound, right, and grow that money. So I think you should be focused on exactly what your game plan is here, right? How are you trading? What's your strategy? What's your approach? How are you are killing tilt? But don't get too hyper focused on, I'm just going to figure out how to play this prop game and exploit it, to the best of my abilities. Probably want to be able to scale, right? You want to build something, build a skill set that you can use to scale. If you're not doing that, it begs the question why. So, but again, different for everybody in different spots. If you're 3 months into trading as a whole, and you have, you're working a little bit over a minimum wage job and you don't have a lot of money at all, it's going to look very, very different than someone maybe who's 5 years in, who's, at a spot where they're confident in their trading, their system. They've been paid out by multiple, taking multiple prop firm payouts. And they have, a considerable amount of money that they've, accumulated. When maybe they have a real high paying job outside, these things are going to look completely different. Experience, and how well funded you are, right? What you look like in your life. It's very different. And then you would have a very different plan of attack for how you would want to deploy capital and what you would want to utilize to trade. What opportunities are going to be best for you. All of that stuff is definitely important to think about. Chopping back and forth around VWAP, this really wouldn't have provided a really nice move back down to the 10s. Anything in here for a stupidly tight scalp in and out. We've moved 40 ticks back and forth. I think we start to break here.
Order filled.
I'm going to try this long. Ooh, that's not even 10 seconds. Trying this bad boy long to see if we can get a breakout. This looked nice. Momentum to the upside. I bought right before that nice wick. Can we get a little bit of continuation? This is too tight of a stop. I really need to be all the way down here on this if I want to be reasonable with it, but I'm not going to. Let's see if we can get some continuation on the upside on this. We swept a high, popped right back down in. I liked this momentum that we started to see. I can show you what I was looking at on Bookmap. We really aggressively ticked higher, but I need to see some follow through on this. Otherwise, I think we're coming right back in. 940s to the upside look pretty good, where we got a little bit of liquidity. I don't like my entry on this at all, and I don't like my stop loss placement. But it's part of the data collection, right? And I will talk about it openly as I'm trading live with you guys. I'll talk about the reasons behind this trade. I know I just hopped right in long, but very happy with the momentum that we started to get to the upside. Oh, the 40s came off. What the fuck, NQ? I'm going to go stop loss to break even plus a couple ticks, and I'm actually going to widen this just a little bit. Here we go. Can we trade through these 40s? There we go. Very nice. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Order filled.
I'm taking that one right there, guys. Taking that W right there. I'll show you what that was on Bookmap. So first off, nice. Can't complain about that entry, right? Here's one thing that I will do, scalp and NQ, that I'm doing right here, right? That I've also challenged myself to do. This is fairly discretionary and intuitive, guys, right? And I try to repeat that. I know I've repeated this stuff a lot. This is a little bit less mechanical and systematic. And let's see what this close looks like. And a little bit more discretionary, right? You can read the actual, bar replay mode, and some of the big traders will tell you this, right? Like Al Brooks will say this. A lot of the traders will say this. The candles themselves and the price action and market structure, when you look at replay mode, you're missing like 20 to 30% of the information, and that is how that candle formed. The volume behind it, the momentum behind it, what it looked like as it was forming, right? And what we had right here was that momentum that showed me that we were going to get some solid follow through. Now, I had a pretty trash entry on that, right? I should have had a full take profit hit, even more so. 250 should be even more green because I hesitated a little bit. But I could show you this on Bookmap as well. You're able to catch a little bit of that read. Like this wasn't as beautiful, as beautiful as it would have been if we swept down here, traded the 910s that I was actually looking at for a short, and then pushed to the upside. But when I see something like that, like a lot of momentum immediately come into the market, it doesn't always play out a candle with a long wick like that and a push to the upside closing around the high. Also on Bookmap, right? So this is 317. I'm gonna scroll back to show you this on Bookmap. Really aggressive push right here. where we had a little bit of a sweep down and then an immediate crack to the upside, right? Now, again, I got to be long in here somewhere. I was somewhere long out here. I'd have to go back and actually look at the trade. But, so that entry and stop loss placement wasn't good. Even after the fact, taking a win, I'll still gladly say that. But this is a nice jump, and I think we're likely to see what we saw, which is some follow through, right? Does that always happen? No. Sometimes we wick right here and we just rip down, right? It's actually going to be a move to the downside, and I'm buying into that. But I'm trying to challenge myself. If I'm going to trade the 1 minute chart like this with a tighter stop and tighter take profit, when I get a real clear indication that we're about to get some volatility, I'm going to try to take that. So I took it over here as well, right? We had some momentum to the upside. I faded it, right? I faded it really quickly. And what did I say was going to happen? Or I figured was going to happen. We're either going to rip through really aggressively. Now, we didn't come and trade the 45s. We're either going to rip through really aggressively or come right back down. And we ripped through really aggressively, right? So I'm 1 for 1, negative $20, stop, around break even. Nothing to write home about, but you guys can start to get a feel for what I'm doing here a little bit more. Outside of that style, that style of trade, which is kind of more of a momentum trade, right? Buying into pressure to the upside and volatility, momentum to the upside, it's going to be more of a simple, we got a range that's forming. Here's what the trading is going to look like. We got a range that's forming. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? This type of stuff. I'm going to look for two things. One, for price to get to the top or the bottom of the range around that area, maybe sweep above or below it, and combine that with a simple level of liquidity up here. Like maybe we're coming back up. We got a level of liquidity right here. I'm going to aggressively take a short off of that, which was my first trade, right? Exactly my first trade. Looking for a reaction back down, maybe just to the middle ground, to the bottom end of this zone, and have a stop loss, outside of it, where I'm really only going to look to get stopped out on a breakout in the direction that I'm fading, right? Which is unfortunate what happened on that first trade, which is why I took the stop out. So that's kind of it's not two things. It's just kind of the thought process, the rationale, right? Where the edge may or may not be as you watch it play out in real time. The more momentum style trade, I really do like. I wouldn't say I'm as good at it. I'm just not fast enough to react. And that comes, I think, from confidence and just more time on the charts. But had I had an entry right in here, like deeper, somewhere right in here, as that momentum aggressively started, would have been even nicer. Would have been able to grab, much more profit on that rather than entry way out here, stop loss in the middle of this, right? So, can't complain though. Can't complain. Biblical, what are you doing, man? You are very patient. I appreciate you, dude. You don't have to do that, guys. Thank you. Biblical sent me $10. Thanks, bro. You definitely don't have to do that, guys. I'm on here free 99 all day, every day. I appreciate you. Thank you. You want to do the gift thing. You want to sub on Kick. That costs, it's like a $4.99 sub to support the channel, all that type of stuff. I appreciate you. Y'all are awesome, man. It really brings a smile to my face, but you definitely don't have to do that. So thank you. Thank you, man. And I appreciate you being here, sharing the story. Made it to a payout. Hell yeah. Beautiful. We talk about the 10-second rule, all that fun stuff. But yeah, man. Let's see. We were talking about, good afternoon. What's up, ICT Macro Time? Huge 5-minute candle. Nice. Appreciate the knowledge. No, listen, guys, again, I appreciate you guys being here. I don't claim to be the best trader, to have it all figured out, but I'm going to share my journey, right? And I love that you guys share your journey with me. I learn so much. It's why I have people on my live stream, right? All different types of traders. It's why people talk about traveling, right? Or why you would go to different conferences and seminars, right? To continue to learn, no matter how good you get. I think that's really important to do. Someone shared, I think it was Trader Julie Kate, but somewhere, and if you're on here, speak up, but someone shared Al Brooks, Tom Hogard, and like 8 other big time traders are going to be in Orlando. And I'm 99% sure I'm going to go to that. And this is me, years in, money made, experienced, all that good stuff. Ready to. That's probably going to be, I think the tickets are quite a few $1,000. That's probably going to be like a $5,000 weekend, or 4-day. It's a 4-day deal. Hotel, travel, food, all that type of stuff. But there's value in learning from others, no matter what level you're at. I'm not saying to find a new strategy, to find a new indicator or some magic tool, but to understand other people's perspectives, you know? So that's what I try to do here, guys. Not that I got it figured out, that I have some magic, that I'm some great trader. I'm not. None of that stuff. But if I can have a really tough day on Tuesday, for example, and talk about why that happened, how that happened, maybe you can learn from my mistake and not do what I did, right? You know, you can watch stuff play out in real time. You can watch me manage trades. Maybe I do well, maybe I don't. And, you know, you can learn from, I think, the losses as just as well as the, you know, the green trades. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. Great entry. Nasdaq is going up from there. Yeah, that was solid. We did go up. I would have liked a better entry price, but thank you. Thank you on that one. We'll see. We shall see. Back to break even, around break even, $20. 1 for 1 if you hopped on late. I think my entry is good. It broke above the inside bar. It's all right. I just need to hold a little bit longer. Yeah. I mean, candles always selling story, bullish, bearish. If it had some real validity, there would be a lot more profitable traders. It's always selling a story, bullish, bearish. Yeah, candles. No, I would agree with that. Right? On the short term, the markets are very random. Patterns repeat themselves, but individual trade outcomes, very random. Very random. There's a million things that can cause price to go up or down. We can create a narrative around it if it helps you, but you can really create whatever narrative you want. You know, there are market mechanics. There's, you know, an auction taking place behind the scenes. It gets very advanced when you start talking about different algorithms and, you know, institutions and all these different things. I try to limit myself on that stuff. I just like to focus on the way that I do now, right? Pattern recognition. I call it the dumb guy way to trade. I see this happen, and slightly more often than not, this happens. Okay? Do I also have a good way to structure risk? Can my stop loss go in a good area? My take profit go in a good area? Great. Yes. Okay. Maybe I can manage my trades well by holding on to my winners, by not stopping myself out constantly for losses or break even, and try to hold on to my winning trades to an area that makes sense. Great. You know, maybe we can make a little money. That's how I try to approach this. Me too, Zach. I want to see if my strategy. Oh, we're talking about that. Yeah, we're talking about live markets. Yeah, I was in the same trade just now. You were my confluence. Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, we'll see. So, I know we started yapping on this. Following up, not a bad close. Could have grabbed a little bit more out of that. Looks like. Back down towards VWAP here. We're really chopping around this area. If I zoom out a little bit, this thing is continuing to put this mean wedge in. Again, I'm not a trend line trader. I don't trade like this type of chart pattern. I find them to be not helpful. Just to me, I can never make them work. But I do note these things, and I pay attention to them, and I point them out, because this is market structure, right? You know, that's forming. So we are really contracting, right? If we had to describe this, if I had to describe market structure, the way that I would describe, you know, market structure is either going to be trending, right, to the upside, trending to the downside, something similar, right? Lower highs, lower lows. That's kind of your two trending actions. Could do a million different things in between there, and it is still subjective. Ranging, right? Ranging and consolidating. And then kind of two different types of ranges that we have. We either have what we have today, which is this contracting market where highs that are put in are failing to break above prior highs up here. Lows are failing to break below prior lows, and we are somewhat contracting here. Again, this is basic stuff, but just kind of how I talk about the markets. Or we have this really frustrating type of range, which is expansion. We come up here, we sweep the lows, we come back up here, we sweep the highs, we come all the way back down here, we look like we're going to break out, we sweep the lows, break and pull back, we come back in here, we come all the way back up. We're not trending because we're not moving to the upside or moving to the downside. We are ranging back and forth, but we are continuing to sweep highs and lows of that range and then fail to continue to the outside. So, you know, kind of classify this. Again, this is subjective, discretionary. It's not a real clear definition. Expansion, contraction, right? You know, just general range consolidation, downward trend, upward trend. This today, right? We have what traders will refer to as a D-shaped profile, right? A lot of volume traded in the middle ground. We have almost a flat VWAP. And the market structure that we have on this, if we really, eliminate anything from pre-market or prior days, is this choppy, rangy, contracting market structure. Oftentimes, if we had enough time left in the markets, which we don't really, we're coming up on the end of the day, this will generate a pretty aggressive move, breaking out one direction or the other, right? This kind of a wedge pattern, as it's referred to, or Dorito pattern. If you, I traded on Top Step TV with Dobie Time for quite a while, and that was his. He had like Dorito glasses that he would pull out, and it was this big joke about the Dorito pattern. So, talking markets, talking prop firms, talking mindset, talking being patient. Appreciate you guys for hopping on, man. I think it's time for a plug. We have, and I know I plugged this a lot this week, but I try to plug this stuff before it ends and then I don't really yap about it that much. This is the last day for this deal. Top One Futures, if you don't know, it's the account that I'm trading. Top One Futures is an instant funded futures prop firm. If you want to check it out, link is in the chat. I will drop it again. Code RDF, and here's the sauce. Code RDF and code STACK5. All caps, no spaces. The word stack and the number 5. 55% off plus 5% off. All accounts. End of day trailing drawdown accounts, intraday trailing drawdown accounts, challenge accounts, all accounts. The insider info, my humble biased opinion, I don't think we're going to see a deal like this for a while. I think they're going to back it off, and I think we're probably not going to see something super aggressive until end of November, December, when we get into like Black Friday and Christmas. If you guys want to check it out, link is there. As always, happy to be transparent. I'm partnered. I'm affiliated. I stand to make money. I can't be unbiased if I stand to make money from something, right? Code and link. Do your own research. Make your own decisions. Check this stuff out for yourself. I encourage you. Put this up. Again, like I started to talk about this a little bit in something I was posting. I can partner with anybody I want, right? I get emails every day. I'm not trying to sound cocky here. I'm a pretty small channel, but I get emails literally daily from different firms and software companies asking for partnership, trying to pay for promotion. I can pick whatever I want to pick, right? I think Top One Futures is an excellent opportunity in the instant funded futures space, which I'm focused on. Put them up against the competition and make that decision yourself. Look at the rule set, look at the price per account, look at what you have to do to get paid out, what's your max loss limit, what's your profit target, how much money do you stand to make when you get to that profit target, what does the path to live look like, what does the support look like, all these fun things. Check it out for yourself. Put them up against the competition, right? Compare them apples to apples. I don't think it's going to be the perfect fit for everybody. I'm also happy to say that. I don't think there is one best fit. There's a million ways to skin a cat. Isaac was joking around with me saying that. There's a million ways to skin this cat in trading, right? And how you're skinning that cat, which is a terrible thing to say, will vary greatly, and what firm is best for you will vary, right? Important to note that. Different rules. Consistency rules versus no consistency rules. Intraday trailing drawdown, end of day trailing drawdown, right? Copy trading 1,000 accounts, not copy trading 1,000 accounts. All these things are going to be different. So do your own research and check that stuff out. We got a bunch of people in chat getting paid out by Top One Futures. Shout out Team RDF getting paid. Biblical waiting for a payout. I think Trader Julie Kate, I saw her post that she had just gotten a payout. Killing it. You guys are killing it. Jordan says, I'm super happy with those guys, man. Yeah. One thing I'll note, right? I'll always try to note anything that's going on, good or bad. They're taking a little while on payouts. Their time frame, the most recent one that I can get is someone directly from my community, right? Not a partner, not affiliated, somebody that is in my community. Today at 1:40 p.m. said, I just got my Top One Futures payout. Took 73 hours and 22 minutes. Okay? Requested and went to Rise this AM. So there's the exact time frame for a payout to come, from the time of requesting to get to a bank account. So, or to get to Rise. Right there, you go, traded Julie Kate. There, see, I was repeating it right there. She posted in my my deal. So that's your thought process. So, just bought one with your code. You guys are crushing it, man. You guys are crushing it. I appreciate you. But again, do your research, check this stuff out. I think they're a fantastic opportunity. Otherwise, I wouldn't be promoting it and yapping about it. I'm using it myself. worked my way through, through to get paid by them. Now my real goal, like I've talked about, is to work myself towards a live account. I'm a far cry away from that right now. I'm not about to have one considered. I'll tell you that. But we're working on it. We're working on it. The goal is going to be to scale accounts, right? To scale accounts, meaning put more profit in the account than you would need if you just wanted to take a payout and, be on with your merry day. So anyway, yeah, that deal, last shot, guys, to say it again. This deal is ending tonight. It's a weird day to end. It's Thursday. It's ending tonight at midnight. Last shot. Code RDF. You can combine it with code STACK5. You have to sign up for the email newsletter from their site in order for that to work. But that's the deal. Link is in the chat. Code is there. Appreciate you guys. Support me. Support the channel. Support yourself. Or don't. Just do whatever is best for you. Make your own decisions. That's important. So that's my yapping about top one. I'll yap about him again at least one more time before the end of the session. I can tell you that. And we're going to run some duck races for sure. Do you like the stock market? Zen trading? Yeah, I do like the stock market. I'm here trading it. I'm here trading the NASDAQ 100 futures contracts as the NQE Mini, specifically NQU 2025. So yeah, I like the stock market. If you're asking me if I also trade stocks, the answer is yes. I just don't yap about it. I yap about enough. I really yap about enough. But it would definitely be more considered, that would be more closer to be considered investing, right? Long-term swing trading at the best. At the best. We're talking swing trading, position trading, right? Holding for longer periods of times, right? Weeks, months, years, that type of stuff. Not always, depends on exactly what's going on, but not intraday trading. Similar approach from a technical standpoint, though. I'll tell you that much. Not really shorting too much, though. It's a dangerous game to play. Dangerous game to play in this market. So watching this thing back and forth here, man. VWAP long is money. Yeah, bro. You guys want to learn VWAP, man? ASFX boys, they clean up with VWAP. It's really just like a couple VWAPs and you can make money from it. I think you really could trade with nothing other than VWAP on your chart and look to trade bounces and breaks through, right? With the trend above and below, and aggressive bounces off of it with the trend, and then if it breaks through, trading with that movement through, right? You can get in some tricky situations like this, but even this might provide you a couple entries. So, but yeah, you look at something like this, just buying off of VWAP, selling on little 10-point bounces would have paid you here. Definitely would have paid you. Good luck, Zach, with MOC. See you around. VWAP long is money. Yeah. Let's see. We got about 10 minutes to MOC, guys, and then we're gonna run a duck race. We're gonna run at least one duck race. We're gonna give away a 25K Elite Challenge account with Top 1 futures. That is. Oh, sorry, guys. That's the game plan. I'd like to find a way in. I wanted to find a way in long to MOC yesterday. I didn't, and the thing popped. I won't mind throwing $200 on the line for a long. MOC I can shoot for a higher risk to reward, so I don't need to win even half to make it work. I think if we sell off back down through VWAP, for example, I can snag a little bit more aggressive entry. I might try a long coming up here, guys. Might try another long coming up. I really need to take the short button off of my screen. I'm not going to get an entry. Very aggressive. There's momentum. Not out of the area that I'm looking at, but here's a lot of momentum. Let's see if we get follow through on this. Looks like somebody stepped in there, or multiple players stepped in there. We got pretty damn aggressive. Let's see if we get some follow through on this. 341. We got about 8 minutes to almost 342. About 8 minutes to market on close. Data that comes out every day at the same time. There's multiple sets of data, but the 3:50 p.m. data 10 minutes before NYSE close traditionally provides quite a bit of volatility. I'm not going to attempt to read what that data is. I don't pay for it. Some traders do, and they get it rattled off to them right away. Right? I think Top Step TV announces it every single day if you're actually interested. But I do pay attention to that. We are likely to have a lot of volatility at that time frame, and if I can get a setup in the direction that I want to trade and have a good way to structure risk, I could take something. This is not it. If we start to push to the upside, I'm cooked on a trade. I'd like a sweep down here. Why? Give me a way to say I'm dead wrong. If the market just sells off, we crack prior day low, we come all the way down through these lows, I'm absolutely dead wrong. If we pop, I think we're popping back up towards this IB high, overnight high. We got liquidity up above on VWAP, on Bookmap, on VWAP, that I think we're likely to go grab as we come into MOC. I think we come up and grab this. A lot to the upside. These are resting sell orders. ES not looking too bad to the upside. Also, I like this long. So I'm going to look for an aggressive long entry, guys. We start to sell off. That's my play. We push to the upside. We just chop around here. I don't have anything. That's enough for me to frame it for you guys. Yeah, and I'm going to trade micros on this. Oh, no, that's micro ES. I'm going to trade... I'm going to drop down a little bit, take a little off the top. I'm going to trade like 6 micros. It'll just give me a little... I don't need to trade a mini into MOC just on today's structure. It varies completely, right? Maybe one day it's multiple minis. Maybe one day it's, 2 micros, right? Just depends on structure. I would be more comfortable with a little bit wider stop, a little bit wider take profit to account for that volatility. Maybe like 7 micros. And if I get into something, I'll be able to adjust, add in, remove, that type of deal. But I'm going to get set up on a micro chart. Yeah, we're looking good. Interesting. Trade back down through like the 25s, come back down to this middle ground. I would take it. Yeah, we're kind of popping into the close here, and that's not going to be a good opportunity for me. Coming up on 3:45 p.m. Let's see. Yeah, long's off of VWAP. VWAP long is indeed the money today. Here we go. 5 minutes to MOC. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get this one, guys. Not sure. Could get a gnarly pullback on this, a sweep below the lows, and I would try it. But this looks like we want to just start popping to the upside ahead of it. In which case, it's not going to give me a good way to structure risk. I would prefer not to be short into MOC on any day, but probably not on a day like today either. Would like to not be short into it. Trading the 950s out right here. Could see some sellers step in. Ooh, we got liquidity above coming off. Interesting development, guys. We got liquidity up above that came off the book. What I was looking at the 960s is gone. 400 lots is gone. Yeah, this... Let's see. What do you guys think? Let me know in chat. You guys thinking long or short into MOC? I'm probably going to put one on. If we come back to the middle of this, I'm definitely not. If we hang out up here and we put a little bit of a pop to the upside in, I might try it short. I might try a short back towards VWAP. I'd have a way to structure risk again where I'm dead wrong if the move is to the upside. I just would prefer not to be long into MOC, not to be short into MOC. I don't have to be, but 950s. I think we could see a sweep right back down to VWAP, if not below, and then maybe a continuation of the upside. 3:47 p.m. Eastern here coming up. Let's see, a little bit pop higher. I might try it because I don't think we hit MOC and just completely follow through. Some of what we had on the book above has come off. So I like that for resting sell orders coming off the book. There's less to go and grab. Let's see. Trade 950s. We pop right through this. Yeah, I think we come back down here. Now that we did this slow climb up here. Want to see if we get an aggressive pop to the upside, and I'm looking for a potential short on this, guys. Just don't want to jump in too early in front of this move to the upside here. 955s.
Order filled.
I'm going to try this short into MOC. That's going to be my play. Short into MOC. I'm going to run about $200 worth of risk. Something to note, if you are going to run a trade into a highly volatile time of the day, you can suffer slippage. It's not usually the platform's fault, for lack of a better term. But you can definitely have some slippage into high volatile times of the day. So I'm going to run this short. I think we come back to this middle ground, maybe a little sweep below. We could certainly pop. We could pop first and then come back down. Anything can happen. ACH, you guys know the drill. Not a bad entry on this to allow a decent risk structure. I'd almost like this like way outside. I'd almost like that like above the high, but I don't know that I need to risk. Let me just see what this looks like. Got about 30 seconds. Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave it at $200. We're either gonna catch a winner here or a little $200 L. Bring myself back down. Let's see, guys. If we do crack lower, I'm gonna take it. I got a stop loss in place down here. I'd like for us not to sell off right before, but I got a stop loss in place up here. 73. Let's see. Got about 5 seconds. Volatility coming into the market. Is it going to be a push long, or are we going to come back for a quick snap back down to VWAP? Let's see. Yeah, I don't love this, guys. I don't love this immediate reaction. I'm going to go stop loss to break even plus a couple ticks. I either want to see a sell-off super aggressively. We come back around this high, I'm out. But I'm going to leave it on. Don't need to grab $100. I'd like to see if we sell off. Maybe down around this low even. I'd look to take it. One more wick down here. We have some liquidity at the 930s, about 10 points above my take profit. But I think we could turn around. That really wasn't an aggressive reaction out of this. And if we were going to sell off really harshly, probably would have happened already. So stop loss to break even. Don't need to leave $200 worth of risk on to come all the way up here to tell me that I'm dead wrong. Maybe we get some aggressive sellers that start to come in. I'm just looking at Bookmap for a move to the downside. Yeah, 930s. It could be dicey to hold past this level right in here. I might have to take it if we dip down here. But risk-free trade, right? It's going to be a break even or a W, right? Not Not something at this time of the day, if I get something that starts to move in my favor, that I want to leave on. Looks like it's going to come and tag me out. We gave it the old college try. Not really providing too much volatility, right? If we look at this from yesterday, for example, you can go back and see a gnarly reaction out of MOC. So some are a little bit more muted than others. No, little dip lower and taking me out at break even on that one, guys. All right, I think you know what time it is. Break even session. One win, one loss, one win, one break even. I think you guys know what time it is. Duck race time. Form is getting dropped in the chat right now. If you guys don't know, this is for a 25K Elite Challenge account with Top 1 Futures. We run these almost every damn day. Been running them every day here. I like to give back to you guys. I appreciate you guys hopping on. Go ahead and get this one filled out. I'll throw the promo up here while we're hanging out. Go ahead and get this one filled out. No purchase necessary. Link is in Kick, in YouTube. It's time. The duck race, for those of you that don't know, is just a way to pick out a winner. That's all it is. A way to pick a winner. Where's my giveaway time banner? I need to get that one up. There it is. Giveaway time. Fill out the form pinned in the chat for a chance to win it's not an instant funded account. I can't put that up. It's a challenge account, guys. Sorry, I won't put that one up. It's a challenge account, not an instant funded, so I won't give you the wrong info. We'll watch what the markets are going to do. But go ahead and get that form filled out, and we'll run some duck races. We will run some duck races. There you go. I see some responses rolling in. Give you guys a couple minutes to get this one filled out. Probably about 5 minutes. I will be right back, chat. Be right back. I was muted. Thank you. See, somebody let me know. You guys let me go for a while last time. Anyway, what I was saying is, you guys were asking questions. We were asking about the activation fee. We were asking about prices. Number one, first and foremost, we got a giveaway form in chat. Okay? Here it is again. Thank you for letting me know, everybody, that I was muted. This is the giveaway form. We're going to run some duck races. We're going to have some fun. But here we go. See, it says 50% off site-wide is ending in 10 hours. 55% with code RDF, and an additional 5% with code STACK5OFF. There's your sauce for the day. We are giving away 25K in Elite Challenge account, but there is an activation fee on challenge accounts. There is no activation fee with Instant Sim funded and straight to funded Sim Pro accounts. I got YouTube videos up about the difference between these two bad boys here. The main differences being the Instant Sim funded is the higher priced account you could just see without all of the aggressive discounts, because this one gets down to like $250, dude. It's crazy. The 50K, wild. RDF and Stack 5 off. Put them up against everybody. $2,000 max loss limit. End of day trailing drawdown. No intraday trailing drawdown on unrealized profit. None of that crazy stuff. 10 days to pay out, or you can remove that completely with anytime payouts. Standard 20% consistency rule, you can copy trade up to 3. These straight to funded Sim Pro accounts, different. How? They're cheaper. Almost $100 cheaper when you go and you put in RDF and Stack 5. You got a tighter max loss limit on some of these, not all of these. If you look at the 150K, it's 4,500, right? But main difference here, downside, intraday trailing drawdown on unrealized profit. That is, in my humble opinion, more difficult. You also have an equity stability score, which takes into account your losing days as well as your winning days, and a minimum trading days to pay out that requires 7 of those to be profitable, somewhat profitable, like not complete flip days, 0.1% of the balance. As in if you're trading a 50K account, you got to have at least 7 $50 days. Okay? You can copy trade more of these accounts together. You can have both sets of accounts if you want. You can copy trade 3 of the instant funded, and you can copy trade 5 of the straight to Sim funded Pro. You can trade them all individually if you want. You can't trade them all together, worth noting. If you want to check this stuff out, go ahead, head over to my YouTube. If you're on YouTube again, you can check out the stuff. I put out videos on all this stuff. I put them head to head. I put them up against other prop firms. I compare them. I'm partnered. I'm affiliated. I stand to make money, so I can't be unbiased. But here's what I would encourage you to do. Take a look at the 50K account. Take a look at the max loss limit. Take a look at what you have to do to get paid out, right? Look at how much you get paid out when you get paid out, right? Look through all the rules on the frequently asked questions page. Look at the price of the account. You tell me what the best deal is on an instant funded account in the futures market. That's my 2 cents. We can go ahead and actually do the checkout thing. $259.20 for the 50K end of day trailing drawdown, $2,000 max loss limit, $3,000 profit target, 20% consistency rule. I mean, you got to divide that $3,000 by 5, $600 per day. I think that's a wild deal. But again, guys, you check this stuff out for yourself. You make a decision. You're probably a smart human, or maybe you're not a smart human, but you can hopefully think for yourself. So that's what we got rolling. Again, 55% off gives you that RDF, gives you 55% off. And this bad boy right here, I'm giving you guys the secret sauce that nobody talks about or knows about because I like you guys. Stack 5. You have to subscribe to the email for it to work from their main site. This is not my code. This is just an additional hidden code that I'm giving you guys so you can get the best deal. I don't get paid on that, but I get paid on this. I get paid on the link. So you guys want to check it out for yourself. Wow. How about that market, huh? Damn. There's the case for holding the trade, not getting stopped to break even. Gnarly selling pressure coming into the close at 4 p.m. We did not really sell off on MOC, but we definitely sold off into the close. 10 minutes of trading left on most prop firm accounts before they kick you out at 4:10 p.m. What's your kick? Kick is Real Deal Zach. Hang on, I'll throw that in there. But guys, get the form filled out. We're gonna run some duck races. I will get this loaded up right now. All the way back to VWAP on ES, yeah? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Headed down there, huh? Damn, ES? Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, overall an uptrend, but I don't know, guys. If you cleaned up today, I give you credit. There it is right there. What's your kick? What is Kick? Kick is a streaming platform. Click on the link and you'll see. It's the same exact thing that you're watching here. Maybe it's lower latency. Maybe there's no ads. Maybe I'm trying to get verified and partnered on Kick, and you can help me out by heading over there and subscribing and hanging out. But you do whatever's best for you. All right, guys. We got responses. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes. 4:05. I am closing off responses to this form, and we are going to run the duck races. We're going to send some ducks into the abyss, and we're going to get somebody funded. Okay? We ran through all that fun stuff. It's time to have some fun. You guys hung out with me. Again, y'all are awesome. Been streaming 2 times a day, but it's awesome. I've been having fun for Power Hour. Break even, nothing crazy. You know, watching the market, getting some experience, trading NQ at the end of the day. So I would be doing it whether you guys were here or not, probably, to be honest. That's not true. Might be trading larger size somewhere else, but I've been having fun with you guys hanging out, and I've been giving away prop firm accounts every single day for quite a while now. Multiple accounts on most days, if I do say so myself. We ran 3 duck races, and I will say I was late to get back to everybody, all the winners. I will say that, happily take responsibility for that. Had a crazy day. I had Isaac coming on the show this morning. I had a handful of things I had to get rolling today, and it took me until I think 1 p.m. today, something along those lines, to hit everybody that won. But also, to be fair, there's now like a ton of people winning accounts every day, and I got to try to reach out to everybody individually, because Top 1 Futures only gives me so much support and sends so many accounts out. The rest of it just comes from me personally. I just like to give out a whole bunch of accounts and run duck races with you guys, so I do it every damn day. All right. 2 more people just rolled in. We're done. Last chance. Get the form filled out. Don't cry if you didn't fill it out. You're not going to be in the duck race. Let's go. Let's go. You guys are done. Form's getting closed off right now. Done deal. All right. We have... how many ducks in the gate? 51 ducks in the gate. Neo, if you're on here, we are going to do the marble races soon. Neo, and some of you guys make great recommendations. I don't want it to be like I'm not paying attention to you guys. There's only just so much crap that I can do throughout the day, right? I run a community for free. I live stream for free. I put out a boatload of content on almost every platform for free. We run duck races for free. I've been working with an editor to try to clean up a lot of my stuff for streaming. So that's taken a lot of my time this week. Gonna have some new graphics that coming across everything. Found you. What's up, bro? Yo. What's going on in the chat? All right. Release the ducks. Almost 2K across 3 funded evals today. Pretty easy for me. Nice. Beautiful, Spider. Love it. You should post your kick on your website and YouTube. I was searching. That's a good recommendation, bro. Do I not have... damn, dog. For those of you guys that don't know, this is my website. And I got to get kick on here, big dog. True. All right. Let's go, chat. Duck races are ready. We are going. Full screen for the ducks. Hang on. Let's get the overlay. All right. 2 minutes on the clock. 25K elite challenge account from Top 1 Futures, coming directly from yours truly. Will it be a come from behind win like we had yesterday multiple times? Will we have another crazy rooster-looking duck win? I don't know. Good luck, everybody. Remember, if you don't win today, you can win tomorrow. The ducks are off. Let's run it. Let's run it. All right. This man has a beautiful head of hair. Yeah, bro, I cut my hair off. If you didn't know, I had really, really, really long hair, and I donated it to Locks of Love. All right. Let's see who we got. I'm gonna give it at least until a minute until I start announcing like a horse race announcer, because we usually get some shuffling around. All right, guys. Minute left on the clock. We have Michael S. was looking like he was trying to take the lead. Alvin Y. Goran V. Julio down on the bottom. Biblical is in there trying to take another W. Onedra P. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce any of your guys' names, but I'm going to try to give you the shout out. Alan A. all the way up front taking the W. Kaz is close. Kaz is close again. David M. What? David M all the way to the front. Julio, John M, Matt G down on the bottom. Daniel M, the snowman duck out of nowhere. 30 seconds to go. Let's see who we get, chat. We got another rooster duck down on the bottom. Caleb P out of nowhere. Oh my gosh, that was the one that won yesterday. Caleb P, Julio out front. Kaz, Daniel M. I don't know, guys. We're gonna have it come out of nowhere. We have some ducks trying to make a run for it. We have some ducks trying to break out. Caleb P is fading. Another come from behind W from the middle of the pack. Vivek, I don't know, what kind of duck is that, guys? It's like the English type duck. My duck went for a retest of the VWAP. My duck looks evil. These ducks like to tease you. All right, Vivek, are you here to claim it? That is part of the deal. I don't think I said it, but I think you definitely have to be here. Vivek. Vivek with the W, number 26 on the duck race. Vivek, where you at? VK, is that you? Is that you in the chat? Vivek, Discord username, YouTube username, VK01. Let's see. Is it VK? Yeah, VK in the chat with the W. It's me. My duck had a skin condition. Congrats. Let's see, guys. Let's see. It's been a fun day. I think we got to run this one back. I think we got to take out Vivek from the win. Congratulations, VK. I'll be reaching out to you after this. I think you guys know what time it is. We got to run it back. We're going 2 rounds today. We're going to have 2 winners. Congrats to VK. Remember, guys, real quick, you got to sit through another quick plug. I'm here live trading almost every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and then again for Power Hour. I've been doing these at really specific times, but I'm going to give you all the fair warning that are tuning in here at the end of the session. I saw the views jump. We have 54 people now on YouTube. We had like 30 at the beginning, 68 on Kick. Let's see what's on. We got like 34 on X. I'm going to start running these at different times. I'm not going to make it so damn predictable for you guys. I'm going to give everybody that can't hang out to the end a chance to win. So feel free, hit like, hit subscribe, hop in the free Discord. Here is the link, my 100% free trading Discord. Boom. Dual streaming you. You're the man. More than happy to have you guys in there. W. Let's go. More than happy to have you guys in there. 100% free trading Discord. Not a VIP feeder program. Not a course that I'm trying to sell you. Just more fun stuff like you saw today. So, that's my warning. They're not all going to be at the end of the sessions anymore. They're not all going to be at Power Hour. We're going to change this up. Let's run it back for another 25K Elite Challenge account from Top 1 Futures. The Ducks are off. Good luck, everybody. Let's see who's going to take the W on round 2. Let's see who we got rolling. I'm going to give you guys about to that 60 seconds before we start announcing. A lot of ducks, they make the breakout early. It's kind of like NQ. They break that opening range. They come back for a retest of VWAP, like Wolf said. Mad funny. Mad funny. Def, change it up and keep people on their feet. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm not going to run this all at the end of the day anymore. I've been doing duck races when I have time, when I'm not trading. We're going to mix it up, okay, guys? So feel free. Do whatever with that you want with that information, but I'm giving you the warning since you guys are all on here and being awesome. Let's see. We got about a minute on the clock. This is a tight pack. We got some duck consolidation. These are some rangy duck market conditions. I'm gonna give it maybe to like the 40 seconds till I start announcing this. I'm winning this time. I gave my duck C4 pre-workout. Wow, my duck is fading like NQ. I think Cage Muscle is better than C4. All right. Almost 30 seconds on the clock. Gabor P. Foles. I'm sorry, guys. I can't pronounce it. We got the purple duck up front. Luan. This is a tight pack. Daniel M. I can't even see some of these that are out front. A naked duck, number 31. Biblical up at the top, trying to make a run for it. Very tight pack into the last 20 seconds. Gabor P holding a strong lead. Jazenia C, Arab, Caleb P, always on these races. Dwayne W, the clown duck. I haven't seen that one yet. Alan A, I don't know. Angela C, Eddie S down on the bottom. We got the naked duck, Alan A, taking the W. My duck always does the opening breakout, making you think it's going to give you a big move and then barcodes all day. Oh, man, you guys are funny. Alan A, where are you at in the chat? Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Alan, are you here? Where you at? Let's see. I'm going to find your username off the form. Alan, I think your YouTube username is Alan. So where you at, bro? Oh, there you are, man. We got an OG in the chat. Alan taking the W today. Congratulations. All right, with the duck noises. Congratulations, Alan, taking the second W of the day. Remember, guys, if you didn't win today, you can win tomorrow. Feel free, like, subscribe, do whatever you want to the two winners. I will be reaching out to you guys after the stream. Congrats. If you want to check out Top 1 Futures, last plug, this ends tonight. We're not yapping about it because it's cooked tomorrow. Like are they Gen Z or millennials? I forget which is which. I think it's Gen Z. If you sleep on this, you're cooked. Code RDF gets you the best deal. Feel free to check it out. Do whatever you want to do. Chat. I couldn't see my duck at all. It was just bouncing around VWAP starting line. Congrats. Yeah, you guys are awesome. My fat duck always runs back. You guys are mad funny. All right, guys. We're going to wrap it up here. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate you being here. More duck races, more giveaways to come tomorrow. We'll finish out the week strong. Fun week of trading with you guys. Remember, trading's risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a recommendation or suggestion to do anything at all. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. I'm just an idiot here yapping on YouTube for entertainment purposes only. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is. Even if under prop from accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content like RDF, Bookmap, and others. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great rest of the day. See you tomorrow. Trading 9:30 NYSE Open. Talk to you guys then.